When you move to another country, there is only one person that you ever have to think of. There's only one person that you have to keep in mind. There is only one person that you have to answer to, and that's yourself. The reason why is you're going to be erased by a lot of the people you know. But I'm not talking about people in the country you're leaving behind. I'm talking about people you know or thought you knew in whatever region of the world you're going to. My name is Howie. This is Positively Portugal. Let's get into it. You have to be smart enough to know that most people are bad. Most people are rotten to the core. Do you need proof of that? Okay, I'll give you proof. Think about all the people who you meet in the course of your life. What percentage of those people do you remain on good terms with years later? At best, you're looking at 1%. You know what that means? It means every person who you meet is 100 times more likely to be a complete waste of time than you believe. But I'm also not here to call anyone out, especially in my personal life. I'm not here to call anyone out. I'm making this video as a warning to somebody who is thinking about moving overseas. I want them to know what they can expect. You see, people have their daily responsibilities, their weekly and monthly routines. They have their priorities. You were never a priority because how could you be? You're living in another country. And just because you're now in that country or a country that's nearby, it doesn't mean that you magically become a priority. You see, these people who you meet along the way in your years of travel, even your decades of travel, you could say to yourself, wow, if I lived closer, I bet I would have a really good time hanging out with this person, with this group of people. And maybe you would, but you have no proof of that. It's just a random meeting. And maybe a random meeting becomes a second random meeting a few years later or whenever that might be. You stay in touch. There's email, there's social media and whatnot. But the bottom line is what life is really like. You ever see that movie Fight Club? The airplane scene with Ed Norton and Brad Pitt? They talk about the single serving friend. And that's what it is. So things like that, they don't bother me. I knew that some of the people from back home would erase me. And at the beginning of the video, I said that's not what I was talking about. And it's not. But just because I'm not talking about that, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. And I will say that if you're thinking about moving to another country and you don't think that some of the people from back home will erase you as being out of sight, out of mind, then I can tell you right now, you're not mentally prepared to move to another country. I had an advantage because I left my place of birth a long time before I left the United States. I left New York in 2014. I spent 2 years in North Carolina, almost 9 years in Florida. And I knew that a lot of people would just not keep in touch. It didn't come as a surprise because when I was living in New York, I was working in the ticket business. I was that guy who could do things for other people. But once I no longer served a purpose, I lost a good amount of my friends. So when I left North Carolina 2 years later, the same thing happened. I mean, I wasn't in any kind of a position where I was doing things for others, but I knew that I would lose touch with people, and I don't have a relationship with anybody from North Carolina now. That's not to say that I don't like those people. I do. They're good people, but again, out of sight, out of mind. But I'm also not going to justify or excuse bad behavior. When I moved to Portugal more than 8 months ago, a lot of the people who I had met over the years in Europe, they seemed excited. Oh, you finally did it. That's great. That's exciting. I can't wait to come visit. Turns out they were blowing smoke up my ass. But that's okay. The only thing I ever ask for is honesty. And that's not what I've gotten. As the months went on, answers got more non-committal. And then it reached the point where phone calls and text messages and emails and social media didn't get responded to. And I'm not sure if that was done in an attempt to offend me, because if you think you can offend me, then you really never knew me in the first place. It takes an act of God to offend me. And I'm an atheist, so it's even harder than that. To get a rise out of me? I don't know. I mean, it ain't that deep with me. If I invite you to my new country, my new city, my new home, I honestly and truly just wanted you to experience all the great things that I've experienced. But if you don't want to experience that, okay. What do you want from me? Just say that, hey, no, it's been real, but I never thought you'd actually move to Europe, and now that you're here, I mean, I really don't care. Because I would respect that. Because I don't care either. Really, I got things to do. I got places to go, sights to see. Oh, and I work. It's not like I'm sitting around and picking lint out of my belly button, waiting for somebody to come here. I have a full life. So I'm just confused by how people act. I'm confused by how people react. And it turns out that people are not what you think they are, not who you think they are. Have you ever seen that old George Carlin comedy special where he starts talking about people who have anorexia? I don't want to eat. They don't want to eat? F them. That's honestly how I feel. The opinions that some people have developed of themselves are astounding to me. Because again, it ain't that deep with me. If you have better things to do, shit, just say it. So yeah, again, the point of this video is not to call anybody in my personal life out. And I don't want anybody who I know who is in this situation or think that I'm even speaking about them. I don't want them to start scratching their head and be upset that I may be calling them out. I'm not. My channel is for informational purposes. I truly want to help others. I want to help other people get to Portugal or whatever country they're thinking about going to. But if they're going to do what I did, they need to be prepared for anything that can happen, including and especially the consequences. And in this case, the consequence is getting erased by some of the people you know. So if you want more videos about moving to Portugal, the process of getting here, Portuguese football, anything Portugal related, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. These are the best things you can do to help a content creator on YouTube. I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll be back here in a few days.